Hey, I got a real quick and easy one for you today. This time of year, I see beginners and seasoned veterans make the same mistakes, and I want to help you avoid these 3 common mistakes that are usually made during spring lawn care. Let's get it. So you plan to overseed or do some type of light seeding touch up here and there in the lawn, but because you've been following all of the trains on YouTube right now, you already put down the Preemergent. Yeah, it sucks when you're in that position. So, hey, if you're thinking about touching up some light spots here and there, or you need to do an overseed or a complete renovation, avoid group 3 herbicides. Those are your prodiamines, your pendimethalin, your dithiopyr, however you want to pronounce it. Those things you want to avoid because you're not going to be able to seed for whatever duration of coverage you put them down for. And then if you want to use something that's going to give you some good pre-emergent control, but it's safe for your seeds, you're going to want to go for mesotrione. That's the angle that you want to take, or branded as tenacity. That's going to get you anywhere from 21 to 30 days of coverage if used properly. Using properly, usually if I'm going to use my mesotrione, I'll get my seed out and then I'll wait 2 to 3 days and then I'll put my meso down, just because, you know, you get an extra few days with the meso coverage and you don't really need it until things start to germinate, which any and everything that can germinate will start to germinate roughly in a 2 to 3 day window. All right, so let's avoid that mistake that I see happen time and time again. So the next one is too much water. So during the spring, it's usually hot and muggy. If you're in a transition zone or close to it, whether you're in the cool season zone or warm season zone, it's usually pretty muggy. I know some areas in the Midwest could experience the same type of temperatures, so this applies to you as well. So if you have a spring that's pretty muggy, has a higher humidity for the most part, you want to be careful with the amount of water that you're applying. Because if you don't pay attention to the 150 rule, which my man Polo broke down so eloquently, I'll throw a link to that in the top right corner. Look, it's simply this: whenever your humidity plus your low temperatures in the evening come close to 150, don't wait until they get to 150. Please don't. But whenever those numbers are, you know, creeping up to the 150 area and they're sustaining that for a good 3 to 4 to 5 days. I'm not talking about just one-off nights here. I'm talking about a consistent pattern of warm, moist temperature in the evening. You want to be careful with watering, okay? Definitely don't want to water in the evening. You want to shift into the morning, and definitely do not apply too much water. All right, so pay attention. This is fungus prime time that we're creeping into. I know that you're excited. I know you're ready to rock out this season, but keep an eye on that weather. All right. All right, let's get to the next one. Now, here's one that, you know, some people might not like, but this is just my opinion, right? And based off what I've experienced, is too much organic fertilizer. Personally, I like to avoid organic fertilizer during this time of the year simply because of its unpredictability. When you're using organic fertilizer, there are 3 factors that need to take place for your plant to even be able to digest those nutrients properly. And you're going to need adequate moisture, you're going to need adequate heat, and you're going to need adequate microbial activity. See, the microbes feed on those nutrients and then they transfer them via waste into a plant soluble form. Well, that doesn't happen until those 3 things kind of align, and usually that's aligning late spring, early summer, which means if you put down too much fertilizer, organic fertilizer specifically, you're going to have a huge surge of flush right when you don't want it, right when all the pieces of the puzzles are coming together for fungus and heat stress. You just want to avoid this at all costs, okay? So be careful. I made a really good video breaking down how you should approach feeding your lawn. And if you're going to go the organic route, that's what I would do. Just still be careful because, hey, like I said, once those stars align, you're releasing a lot of nitrogen and not necessarily when you want to do it. All right, that wraps this up. I'll catch you next time. Peace.